In 1997, Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book that made a major splash as soon as it hit the market and quickly became a bestseller. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kiyosaki explains that he had two father figures. One was his real father, a college professor who struggled with money his entire life, whom Robert calls Poor Dad. The other was his best friend Mike's father, a highly successful businessman whom Robert calls Rich Dad. It was from Rich Dad that Robert received his most crucial financial education. The book begins with 9-year-old Robert, desiring to be rich like other kids at his school, asking his poor dad how to become wealthy. His poor dad had no answer and directed him to ask Mike's father, his rich dad. This question initiated a series of important lessons that would shape Robert's financial mindset. Rich Dad taught him the principles of how to become rich, how to manage money, how to make money work for him, and the common mistakes that keep poor people poor. He also asserted that if poor people followed these same principles, they could become rich too. The first lesson is that rich people never work for money. Kiyosaki argues that most people fall into a trap by working hard for a salary, which leads them to take on loans for houses, cars, and expensive items. They then become trapped in a cycle of working for decades just to pay off their debts. In contrast, rich people find ways to make money work for them, rather than working for money. The second lesson emphasizes the critical importance of financial education, which is not taught in schools. The school system focuses on getting good grades to secure a good job, but a job alone cannot make you rich. The key distinction lies in understanding assets and liabilities. Assets put money in your pocket, like a rented property, while liabilities take money out, like a car loan. To build wealth, one must focus on acquiring assets and minimizing liabilities. The third lesson is to mind your own business. Rich Dad taught that while you may have a profession or job, your own business is what you build for yourself. Kiyosaki illustrates this with the story of Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, who told a class of MBA students that he was not in the hamburger business, but in the real estate business. The core idea is that people often spend their lives working to build someone else's dreams instead of focusing on building their own assets. This doesn't mean quitting your job, but rather using your income to start building your own asset column. The fourth lesson is to work to learn, not to earn. Kiyosaki shares an anecdote about a well-educated journalist who wanted to be a best-selling writer. He advised her to take a sales course to learn how to market her work, but she was offended, believing sales was beneath her. He explains that talent alone is not enough. You must also learn how to monetize that talent. Poor people often stop learning, while rich people continuously learn new skills, which in turn makes them richer. The final lesson focuses on overcoming obstacles. Kiyosaki identifies 5 key barriers that prevent people from building wealth: fear, doubt, laziness, bad habits, and ego. He explains that everyone fears losing money, but the rich handle their failures differently. Doubts can paralyze you and make you miss opportunities. Laziness, often disguised as being busy, is a major enemy. Bad habits, like not pay yourself first by saving and investing before paying bills, hold you back. Finally, ego can make people use their ignorance as a justification, instead of humbly learning what they don't know. In summary, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad shares the wisdom he gained from his rich dad over 30 years. The key lessons are that the rich don't work for money. Financial education is essential for understanding assets and liabilities. You must mind your own business. You should work to learn, not just to earn, and you must overcome the obstacles of fear, doubt, laziness, bad habits, and ego. The book is highly recommended for anyone seeking to improve their financial literacy.